The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hey there, everybody. It is Lyn-Dee Eldridge, your Chief Happiness Officer with the Happiness Jungle. And today we are going to talk about your destiny. You know, we go through things in life for a reason, and sometimes that roller coaster ride can be really, really hard. But if you start looking at life as it has a lot of purpose, you're going to find out that you could become everything and more plus more. And I have the great opportunity for today to have on my show with me. I am so delighted. I've got a #1 international author. I have somebody who has been featured on CBS, NBC, on Fox. I've got such a special treat for you. I met this woman probably about 10 years ago. I can't even believe it's been that long. Her name is Crystal Davis. She's out of Colorado. And we're going to be talking today about how you could design your destiny. So without further ado, let me go ahead and bring on Crystal Davis from Colorado. Hey, Crystal.
Hey, Lyn-Dee. Thank you. An honor to be here. I'm so excited to be here today with you and bring value to your audience.
Well, you know what? That's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to bring such value to my audience that many of them that are sitting on the couch right now, sitting on a chair, after we're done, they're going to be able to get up and move forward. And that's what really excites me. You have always inspired me. You are a woman that you and I have very similar backgrounds. We were both involved in domestic violence relationships, but we didn't stick and stay there. Matter of fact, we grew from it, and it was painful, but now it's powerful. So I want you to share with my audience everything that you want to share so we can help them just move on in life, because there are so many people, as you know and as I know, that are just so stuck. The purpose of the Happiness Jungle TV show is to unstick them.
Yes. And that's part of life. And I know our past does not define us, and we can't stay stuck. And I was so shut down 11 years ago, Lyn-Dee, when that moment when I was flying through the air and landed at the bottom of the stairs in the landing, and realized the man that was supposed to protect and love me and support me had violated those vows. And how was I going to pull myself out to be there for my daughters, my why, and empower others to know we are worthy and deserving of living an extraordinary life. We've all got to discover our purpose. And in that moment, my identity was so shut down, Lyn-Dee, that I didn't even know who I was. And a lot of us, and we all have a story. And discovering our purpose and why we've been put on this planet, I know my journey has been my destination, and I've gone through this to get me to where I'm at today. So it doesn't happen overnight. And as you know, it takes a lot of work on working on ourselves, building that unshakable, confident you, and loving yourself and digging into your core values. And wherever you're at in life, we all get stuck on what I call the authentic wheel of life, in either our career, our finances, our relationships, our environment. And how do we get unstuck? Well, it all begins with us. It all begins with you. And we've got to dig in and find our values and look in the mirror and know who you're looking at every single day. And know that you have the power.
I love that. Everything that you're saying is so spot on. So, do you realize that 80% of the world are abused? That's a high percentage.
Very.
So we're talking to 80% of people that are right now watching us going, I don't know how I'm going to get out of this. I don't know what I'm going to do. What am I going to do financially? He or she runs the house. How am I going to be able to take care of what I need to take care of? So I want you to share your tips, your expertise on how do we get off that couch? How do we get off that hamster wheel to be able to move forward? And how do we find our purpose? Because so many people, just like you just said, who were we? How did it all begin? What do we do with it? So share with everybody, Crystal, because you are a #1 international author. You have been featured on so many fabulous platforms. You are the expert on moving forward because you were at a dark place. And that's one of the things that I absolutely love about you and I love about my show is that you are authentic. You are the real deal. So share with the audience, because you also are a coach, isn't that correct?
Yes. Yeah, so it was when I hired a coach 9 years ago to really find myself. And everyone, we all need a mentor or coach or someone in our life that believes in us and can help you dig core, because it's hard to do it by yourself. And I have to be honest, that was the best decision I made because I was so shut down personally, professionally, and I didn't even know what direction I was going to go. So it has to start with you. And it starts with you, #1, in getting sleep and taking care of yourself, your health, because if you're no good to yourself, you can't be good to others. And you've got to love yourself first. And getting back to that was it's been a journey because mind stimulated from my father in the past, and we all have that past. So we've got to dig to our core values, go through some exercises. I have a workbook, and for those of you on and watching, I have a free gift. If you go to my website, you can get my free book. I do have my workbook there as well. And this workbook is from mentors that I've been mentored over 25 years and exercises that I've developed to get unstuck and realize that it is a process. So it all begins with discovering your what, your why. Why are you on this planet? What is your contribution in being in service? When you're in service, and it goes beyond the finances, when your personal life is somewhat in order, Lyn-Dee, your career just takes off. And what lights me up more is uplifting other people on my team as a leader, as a mentor, as a coach, seeing where they're at with their family, with their relationships, and how on a scale of 0 to 10, what area in their life they are honestly stuck. How do we get from a scale? You can only really deal with 2 or 3 of those 12 areas in life. And that's where it all begins, is deciding and going through a questionnaire that's in my workbook. And you basically know where you stand and what 3 areas you need to work on. So it really begins with discovering your purpose, your why, and how do you do that? Make a list, make a top 100 list of all the things you love to do. What lights you up? What gets you out of bed in the morning? And then I love when I get those exercises back, top 50 things you did that you loved doing as a kid. Was it puzzles? Are you someone that likes to put the pieces together? And then you start to dig in deep to your soul and your core values from what lights you up. And then I went on this path where I realized being in service and giving back and helping train other people to find their values and where they were stuck and how they get unstuck from it. It's not a daily, it's a daily thing. We've all got to recreate our habits and take care of ourselves, right? It doesn't happen overnight. And that's the thing. We constantly growing, evolving, reaching outside of your circle. And if those friends are not supportive and serve you, that has been probably one of the most difficult things to let go. And we've got to surround ourselves with those people that are positive, that are making a difference in the lives of others, and that are on this journey called life and being in service. How can we share our unique gift? But it's discovering our unique gift, and it starts with the child as a child. And we all have those specific things that light us up, right? That started from childhood. If we really dig deep.
You know what, Crystal? I also want everybody to realize that you and I have come so far from the darkness. But still to this day, and I think that you're going to agree with me, is that you can leave your past. This is what Les Brown says. You can leave your past, but your past never leaves you. And every now and then, in the back of your mind, here it comes again. And because we work so hard on ourselves, which is what our audience is going to do from this point on, every single day for the rest of your life, you're going to work harder on yourself than you've worked on anything else because it's worth it. So for everybody that's watching and you feel that, oh my God, where you are right now is dark, your past was dark, I got to share with you those memories. That stuff is stuck in the back of your mind. And it wants to hold you back. It's up to you to push through it. And again, just being able, thank you so much for those two gifts, your book and your workbook. I mean, that's fabulous. And as soon as people decide to get started, it's that decision.
Yes.
Everything starts changing a little bit at a time, a little bit. So I don't want people to get off this show and say, oh my God, if I work on this, then tomorrow I'll be a new person. You're not going to be a brand new person, but you are going to feel change. Isn't that true?
Oh, absolutely. You got to start somewhere. If you don't know where you're going, you've got to have direction, and just to get up in the morning and have a routine and take care of yourself, your health. What are you putting? Because that's where it all begins. And then the tolerating. I do want to mention, Lyn-Dee, that one of the biggest exercises that really taught me a lot, and I go back to it almost every quarter, is what are you tolerating? What are you tolerating in your life that isn't fulfilling you? And then what brings you fulfillment? What lights you up? I mean, if you even start with the negative and the positive list, and the more you work on the tolerating and you start marking off those things and taking that challenge in steps day by day to get the bins. Like my garage was just like stored with bins and bins. I couldn't even get my car in the garage. So day by day, it takes steps, and we've got to start somewhere. And, let me be your mentor. I would love to have you go to my website, and I'm going to be launching new free webinars, and stay with me, because it is a journey, and it does take work, and everyone's different from where they're stuck.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I love what you said about it's a journey. So I know that now I can't believe it. I'm not even going to say my age. I can't believe that I am 58 years old. I don't feel like I'm 58 years old, but I am 58 years old. And I got to share with you, the 58 years that I've been alive, I love how you use the word tolerate. How much did I tolerate during those 58 years of my life that I no longer decide to tolerate anymore? But I use it now as a positive tool to pick me up, lift me up, and keep on moving forward, right? That's powerful.
Yes,
that's
it
good
is.
stuff. Yeah,
and
I've watched you over the years. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
And I'm right behind you, Lyn-Dee. I'm 56, so my life has just started. I am like on this journey, and I'm so lit up because of how far we've come. And yes, there is hope for all of us. But it's all got to start, and yes, it is tapped into our subconscious, and that's why I'm so grateful that my journey has become my destination.
Oh, amen to that. And going back to your childhood and finding out what you really enjoyed in life, that is who you are. That is exactly what you've been dreaming about all your life. So I love how Crystal says you're going to go back into that. You're going to, write down your 100 activities that you did as a child that you absolutely loved. It could be coloring. It could be anything. And what you're going to find is that you have such special qualities. And you can't let anybody take those qualities from you, because that is going to take you to your next step, your next level in life.
Yes, and let me share a quick story with you. I knew for coaching for me, Lyn-Dee, And when I started going through this exercise 9 years ago, I realized I was mentored and coached, even though I grew up, a single mom with a single mom, couldn't afford the ice skating. I was a competitive ice skater, and I skated with 4 Olympic gold medalists. And they were trained by Carlo Fassi, Dorothy Hamill, Scott Hamilton, John Curry, Robin Cousins. I skated with them. That sport taught me, when I dug into this list, consistency, persistency, and over time, showing up at a cold ice rink to become the best version of myself in a 4.5-minute program, having a mental coach to take me through my ice skating program, and then being mentored, even though we couldn't afford the lessons. Carlo mentored me. And I have to say that coaching and showing up really gave me the gift. And I knew it was a gift that I had because I became an instructor in college. And when you see people, their performance, and they show up for the lessons and they improve, nothing lights me up more than that. So yeah, that's part of coaching. And coaching, when you have a mentor and someone you look up to that is thriving and becoming the best champion, of you, and finding your direction, your purpose, and why you're on this planet, you will discover that in going through step by step.
Yeah, and you said it perfectly. You have mentors, I have mentors.
Yes.
Without the mentors, you can't get to the next level. And it's one of the most powerful things that you could do for yourself. You will always have a teacher in life. We will always be students. But just let's make sure that the teacher that we're attached to is the right teacher.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. And if you're in an environment that you're feeling lonely, but yet there are so many people around you. Robin Williams, when he passed away, one of the quotes that came out was that he was amazed at how lonely he could feel in a room full of people. When he said that, when I read that quote, I realized that where I am right now is probably not where I should be anymore, because I was very lonely in the room.
Yes. I've been very lonely. Yeah.
It's,
you
and you got to ask yourself, would I rather be lonely alone, or would I rather be lonely in the room full of people?
Yes.
Once you figure out that you would rather be lonely alone, that's when you start going out and start networking and starting to find your new people, and it revives you.
Yes, it does. That's what lights me up.
Yeah, that's what lights me up too, Crystal. And it's funny because if we didn't take the path of change, you and I would have never met.
No.
So what a blessing. You're in Colorado. At the time, I was all the way in New Hampshire. And yet, through the like-minded, fabulous leaders that we knew together, it brought us together. And now we are still here together. But even at a much more inspiring level, we're both authors, we're speakers, we're coaches, we mentor, and it's so authentic. You are so delicious, Crystal, because you did not come from the colleges that you had to read how to do things. No. You came from the school of hard knocks.
Yes. Yeah.
And that to me was the best school of all.
Yes, it is. It's the best learning, and this has been my journey, and it's my destination now, and I'm just so grateful for that, and the people that have shown up in my life, and my mentors now. I am working with the top elite mentors in the world, Joel Bauer, and I have been on this journey, and I know I just have so many things to share with our audience, because I've learned from each and every one of them and taken all their pieces so I can light up someone else's world. And I'm very grateful.
Yeah. And Crystal, it was just last week that I posted something on Facebook, and I had the great honor of being a student of George Ross, who was the attorney and the advisor for Donald Trump. Then come to find out that you already interviewed George Ross. So that's
Yes.
what I'm sharing with the audience. Do you understand the importance of the synergy of the people that you are hanging out with and associating with? If you hang around greatness, you get greater. If you hang around people that are full of excuses, you will always be full of excuses. So I believe, and I know for a fact, that it starts from the second you wake up in the morning. How you look at yourself in the mirror. You want to talk about that a little bit, Crystal?
Oh yeah. First thing in the morning, I don't even sleep with the phone beside my bed. I mean, technology, get it away. And it all begins with my meditation, actually my light therapy, which I will share with the audience, these glasses, which is a new light therapy technology. And it's my meditation. It's my tapping into my subconscious. Before I even put on or get out of bed, I am doing my meditation, my Paseo, and I'm drinking a glass of water, and I'm sitting there getting centered, and then we got to move. We've got to hydrate. We've got to get out and move. So I walk my dog every morning, every evening, get out in nature, get out in the sunlight. And then I go look in the mirror, obviously brush my teeth, and make my bed, because I always like to have that bed made so that it's complete when you come home, and it's nothing like crawling into a fresh made bed. But you look in the mirror, and every day we have to look in our eyes and say, I love you. You are worthy and deserving of living an extraordinary life, and today's going to be an amazing day. Thank you. And thank yourself. You've got to look at yourself every single day in the eyes, because 11 years ago, Lyn-Dee, I didn't know who I was looking at myself in the mirror, and I didn't like what I saw. And it's taken a lot of work. And to be authentic to others, we've got to know ourselves to the core. I mean, how can we be in service? So, and you and I have done a lot of hard work on that. So, yeah, morning routine is that. And then an hour later, I go to the gym, or I work out, make a great meal, and then I sit down and check my email. You know, that can wait. You've got to take care of you.
That's powerful right there, because so many people, they sleep with their phones right under their pillow.
Yep.
You know? And stop watching the news, for God's sakes. There's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. Stop watching the news. I don't even know what's going on in the world. I know that sounds pretty bad. I know what's going on in the world, but I don't choose to live my life according to what's going on in the world.
I agree with you, Lyn-Dee. I haven't turned on the TV or the news in 11 years. I only turn on music, and honestly, people have to call me to tell me what's going on. Like when Michael Jackson died, and I was sobbing. You know, my dear friend called, but you know what? Negative news, and life is a choice, and we all have choices. And how do you choose to live your life? And you know what? The American and watching TV and the negativity, that's a depressant in itself.
It is, and it can definitely hold you back. And if you watch soap operas, or if you watch anything that's just so drama-fested, think about how that's really making you feel. How is that interrupting your happiness? And I guarantee you that you're going to figure out real quick that it's not serving you. It's not fulfilling you, and it is really holding you back. So stop all of that noise and bring in the positive noise. Wake up to music in the morning. Every morning, I now have an Alexa, right? We all have Alexa.
Oh, yes.
And that's the first person I speak to, and I call her a person. I even say thank you and I appreciate you to this thing. Because I do. Because when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do as soon as my eyes open is I say, Alexa, please play good morning music. And she does. She's like, oh, she's playing now. Alexa, shut off. Oh my gosh.
But you're in a happy place. Dancing, music, whatever it takes to light you up, or read a book. I journal. That's another thing that every morning I have a gratitude journal. And with Thanksgiving coming up, I'd like to share with your audience, this is a very powerful exercise.
Alexa, turn off. There you go. She's my friend.
So to be
Go ahead.
grateful and journal every day, pick a person, even in the next 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, someone that is important to you, someone that has made a difference in your life. And if you journal even a sentence or two every day in a little journal and then give it to them on Thanksgiving, I tell you what, it will change their life. I have done this with a couple of friends over the year where I've journaled daily on what I'm grateful to have them, grateful. It's a gratitude of attitude. Do you have an attitude of gratitude is what I call it. It's a chapter in my book. And if you do this, I tell you what, it is so fulfilling, more fulfilling and it fills you up when you do that daily journal with someone and then you wrap it as a gift and give it to them as a gift on their birthday, Thanksgiving, Christmas. You will change their life. And nothing brings me more fulfillment than that. That's one of the exercises that I highly recommend, especially with Thanksgiving around the corner, Lyn-Dee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Thanksgiving and all the holidays are rolling around. I love that. Everybody give a gift, give a journal. It doesn't cost you anything. You can go to the dollar store and get these nice journals.
Yes.
And there you go for $1, but it's what you write in it that's going to be priceless.
Yes.
Crystal, we're almost done here. I want everybody to understand how to get a hold of you. Are those glasses something that you came up with? Is that something is that you?
This, I am launching the U.S. market. This is a light therapy technology that helps with stress, sleepless nights, focus. NASA's using them. They're in medical hospitals in Europe. So yes, you can go to my crystaldaviscoaching.com and click on PASEO for more information and amazing, amazing opportunity. Yes, I am on a big launch, micro launch to open up the U.S. market to help people get off antidepressants and sleeping pills.
I love you. I love you. How do we get a hold of you, Crystal? We got 30 seconds.
You go to www.crystaldaviscoaching.com, reach out to me, shoot me an email, and I will return your phone call or your email within 24 hours. And I look forward to helping you live the authentic driven life and discover your purpose, develop an unshakable confident you, and design your destiny. To live a life by design and not
we just
default.
had the great pleasure of having the one and only, the famous, all over the world known Crystal Davis on our show. I hope that each and every one of you reach out to her. And I wanted to tell you all, life is not easy, but you can be happier. Crystal, give everybody a good wave and say, have a great life.
Have
Bye,
a great
everybody.
life.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.